Hey guys, so you'll notice very quickly that my face is like sliding off to the the middle of the screen, right in between the cut between the two shots here. This is because I am an idiot and didn't realize I was looking at a fucking mirror of myself. So I thought I was being clever and leaning away from the middle of the screen when in fact I was leading right into the void. So I tried my best to fix this to no avail. This is a recording off Skype, which also will explain the kind of crappy video, and occasional failing audio. And for that, I am sorry, and I can only promise to do better next time. But this will be the case for all the videos from this batch that we filmed a couple weeks ago. Uh, so again, I'm sorry. Enjoy.
So there was one last idea that we had for this, which was the part three renames. But I want to hear what your rename for all the parts first, because you said you had names for all the
Right,
parts that
yes,
were.
I did. I
Want
did
to hear
have. I
first.
renamed all
I,
of the
I
parts.
I think you told me these, but I want you to say it on this.
Yes, I did. In fact, name them. So for part one, I had renamed it JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Yu Yu Haka Dragon Ball Naruto Leech, because that sums up
Shout it.
all. That's what sums up my opinions of part one in a nutshell. Is that it's like the most generic shonen. There's nothing
That's why I got
differentiating it.
popular.
Hamon is chakra. Hamon is ki. Hamon is basically any sort of otherworldly power. There's nothing separating it. Jonathan wanting to be a gentleman is no different from someone's ninja way or whatever,
Hey,
or the
that's very
pirate
accurate.
code. I don't care. So yeah,
That,
that's what
yeah.
you suggested. I rename it like Fist of the North Joestar or something like that. But I think Jello Apocalypse already renamed it that when he was
Yeah,
making it.
probably. But I mean, it is accurate because JoJo's was basically a Fist of the North Star ripoff at first.
Wow,
But
it's
I
a
mean, in
good
terms of
thing it
design,
changed. It's a good thing it changed.
yeah,
Yeah, and part two is Jedipus Rex because
Genesis
um,
are
just because I liked that joke. To be
it's funny.
honest,
It's funny.
honestly, that was probably the most interesting thing about part two because the Pillarman shirt didn't have lasting power. Hamon certainly didn't have lasting power. So,
Oh.
so let's see.
The
Wait, what?
series.
Wait,
No one
what?
talks about cars in the series.
Yeah, well, that's because Cars is in space. No one
That's
really
true. He's still.
cares about what he's doing, where he is. He just got blasted
You
from he
coming
got
home?
blasted from a volcano, and that's all we've ever seen to know or care about him.
Yeah. What else? Stupid cars.
So, part three is I renamed Jonathan is worthless
Yes, you did. Jonathan.
because literally
He's
everything
been the
he
first.
sought to do did nothing because it's still a big problem for everyone. So yeah, that I'm just salty.
Yeah.
Don't like Jonathan, so that's what I mean. Part four, I renamed "Hands Are Very Breakable" just because, like, realistically, if you think about it, the hand fetish is what gets the ball rolling. Because
Oh yeah, yeah.
without Shigechi finding the severed hands,
Oh yeah.
we don't get there. So
Yeah, that's what really gets the plot started in
yeah,
part four. My friend likes to call part four the Scooby Doo part
yeah,
because
that's
it's a big
honestly, yeah,
old Scooby mystery
that is
with
very accurate.
hand fetishes.
I renamed Part 5 Yakuza in Italy because realistically, these aren't mafiosos. These are Yakuza. This is the Japanese view of organized crime, not the
Yeah,
Italian
right.
view.
It really is.
Part 6, we get to name Clam Bake because it's the only part that has a female protagonist.
Hey, I've been saying, Viz, you need to come up with a better name for a better English name for Stone Free, because right now they're just calling it Stone Ocean, which is stupid. Clam Bake, that's a good name for it.
Yep. Okay. Part 7, I renamed "Fuck Araki's a Mormon" just because this idea that like the, the like saint body parts or whatever being in the United States, it's like.
Jesus' body parts are in the United States. What of it?
And part 8, I just renamed "The Search for a Plot" because last I heard of it, which again was like 5 months ago, uh, apparently the thing had been going on for what 8 years, and we still didn't have like it was
It's been going since 2011.
2011. So yeah, it's been going for about 8 years, and there still was no clear main antagonist.
We might have one now. Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
he's a very shadowy figure. His stand is very powerful, though we don't we're not fully sure of what it does, and it doesn't have a name yet, as far as I know. It's pretty cool. It's a great design. Oh, it's so cool. It basically, he basically showed up like right after I released our videos. Like that's basically where he premiered. So what I was saying when we recorded was absolutely correct. They didn't have a main antagonist, but now we kind of do. We're not sure still. It's iffy. It's iffy. He's certainly in charge of the group that's currently antagonizing the main characters, but we've been through this before, and they're always like, "There's someone higher up." And it's like, maybe.
Araki's just gonna write part 8 till he dies.
That's what I think. I think he's gonna do that. I'm not against it. I like part 8, but like he's gonna keep it. He's just gonna do it forever because he can and he wants to. So it seems. I don't know. I keep hearing rumors about part 9, and I'm like, you gotta finish part 8 first, man. You gotta finish part 8 before we do a part 9. Maybe it'll be the first like true sequel. Like I mean, like part 2 was not. Part 2 wasn't a true sequel.
Part 2 wasn't a sequel.
No. I don't know. Who knows? Well, maybe we'll find out in like a few more years. He's just gonna keep going. He's
a mystery.
Yes. All right. So something that we've wanted to do for a while is rename the part 3 stands to fit with the theme of the other stands after. So that's naming them after music and artists and
music
bands.
and artists and other things instead of like Egyptian pantheon and tarot cards.
So all the part 3 stands are named after either the tarot or the pantheon, except with the exception of 2. There's tenor sax, which is, I mean, it's named after an instrument, and then Cream,
vanilla
the band,
ice.
the band Cream, but also Vanilla Ice Cream. It's a pun.
Yeah.
But also, the band Cream is a thing, which someone shouted that very loudly in the comments. Cream is also a band, and I'm like, I've probably been listening to Cream longer than you've been alive, so like, shut up. Yeah. But anyway, I got mine written down somewhere in this book.
I got mine right here, ready to go. If you want me to start.
All right. You can start with Star Platinum.
Okay. I'm also gonna put this stipulation out that I challenged myself to only use names that Araki could potentially have used for naming stands.
Did not, because I thought it was because I had a few that were really funny to me.
Well, I had a few that were funny to me too. Like originally, I wanted to name Star Platinum "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time," but
I mean, that's great.
But like the national anthem of the United States had not yet been written by Britney Spears, so I had to go back to something pre. I think it was like '89 that part 3 started being like written.
You gotta do the '80s and early '90s.
Yeah,
but
so
I did not, because I got a few of these that are. I'm just looking at what I wrote for Hanged Man, and I'm like, oh, whoops, that's recent.
So with Star Platinum, I actually apparently learned from parts 3 through 6, each of the main characters' stand was also named after like a material. So like platinum, diamond, gold. So for the sake of that, I looked up what the first albums that like became platinum. And it
Oh,
turns
okay.
out the Eagles' greatest hits were the first
Oh,
album to go platinum. So my rename for Star Platinum is Platinum Eagles.
that's pretty good.
Alternatively, the first single to go platinum was Disco Lady.
Mm.
So my idea
Mr.
for Star Platinum
Fan.
is either Platinum Eagles or Disco Lady, whichever one would sound funnier being shouted by monotone Jotaro.
Disco Lady. That's
Platinum
funny.
Eagles.
Platinum Eagles. Hold on, hold on. So I actually, for some of these, I went very in depth with either the joke or with the reference. Some of these were just like, it makes sense to me. Uh, but for Star Platinum, I went very deep with this. So, Dio is named after the band Dio,
Mhm.
and the the world obviously is a stand that can stop time. So there's a couple of songs by Dio that actually reference time. And then there's the song that I did name the world after in this. I don't know if we're gonna do that first or last. After this or last, but I have it written last. But we'll do whatever you want.
I mean, I
Uh,
had the world last as well
yeah.
because
Okay.
I had a really like good joke.
Okay. Uh, so I went with one of the songs that actually inspired the world because Star Platinum and the world are essentially the same stand.
Mhm.
They're very similar. Someone said that I said that Jotaro stole the world's time stop, but it's the other way around. I'm a call iffy on this one because why the fuck didn't Jotaro stop time ever before? That's all I'm saying.
Mm.
It's almost like Araki thought of that at the last minute. I'm just saying. So I called Star Platinum after the Dio song Stargazer. I
Mm.
thought it made sense. Star Platinum, Stargazer. And Stargazer is actually a song that talks about stopping time atop a mountain. So
Makes sense.
there's a lyric in there. I'm going to put it on screen now. That made me think about this one. So that's why I went with that. Stargazer.
All right. I went in. I tried to keep this as in order of appearances. So the
Yeah,
next
so do
one
I.
I had was
I literally wrote them
Magician's.
all down.
Okay. Yeah. So for Magician's Red, I went with Man in Motion just because the lyrics for that song have a lot of references to eagles flying. So, a bird man
Yeah,
kind of made
Birdman.
sense. Not only that, just the guitar riff, the sound of the whole thing is very upbeat, very high energy. So it does kind of invoke flames, at least for me. So I figured it was pretty good fit.
Uh, well, I went more like basic with this. I just called him Ring of Fire. Johnny Cash song.
I mean, yeah, it's on the nose, but it's
It's
true.
it's just it's right there. Makes sense. But I do love me some Johnny Cash, so I would love more stands named after Johnny Cash songs. I'm all for that.
Hmm.
All right, Hermit Purple.
Hermit Purple. I named Hermit Purple. I can see clearly now, just because the one thing he does is like allow them to track
Yeah.
certain people.
So I went with Purple Rain.
Mm.
Because it's got a lot of elements that I think Araki would like to name stands. He likes Prince songs. And Purple Rain is just one of the most famous Prince songs that he hasn't used.
Mm.
Though I will say this right now, I have a suspicion that the new stand, Satoru's stand in Part 8, that the guy they were saying might be the main villain. I
Yeah.
have a strong suspicion that that might be named Purple Rain. I just do. I'm putting this out here now before uh, the next issue comes out in like a few weeks.
You best get
But I
this
went Purple
video up.
Rain
You best
personally.
get this video up before that release date. Then.
Yeah, I'm hoping. He's so Satoru Stan has been around since what is it, July of last year? Still hasn't gotten a name.
Mm.
So I don't know. I think I'm safe. Um, there was also a line in Purple Rain that made me think of Hermit Purple. I think it was like one of the first few lines. I can't remember what the line is. Please, future me, when you're editing this, put the line up that makes me seem less crazy. All right, so moving on to so next one is Tower of Grey, right? We just
No,
we,
no,
what?
Hierophant Green.
What the fuck are you talking about? What's Hierophant Green? Never heard of this. Never heard of this stand in my life.
Boo, boo,
I had to.
boo. Okay.
You know that people are gonna skip the videos that are like, oh, they're just talking about mistakes or what the channel's doing. We're just gonna watch more JoJo stuff. So I have to do this.
All right.
Hierophant Green. I'll go
Hierophant.
first for Hierophant because like I think mine sucks. I was
Okay.
just looking for bands or songs that had green in the name
Hmm.
because I don't know, when I think Hierophant Green, like the green is the most outstanding quality about him. His power is just kind of weird. So I went with Green Assassin Dollar, which is a small band that I found on Spotify that I actually really like now. I think it's just got that like sort of mellow tones to them. A lot of their songs are very mellow, very cool, which in lines with Kakyoin's very level-headed personality.
Hmm.
So that's why I went with that.
I went with A Lonely Man because it kind of it references Kakyoin's like how he discovered Hierophant Green in like
Yeah,
that 11th hour character development where he talked about his
right before he
childhood
dies.
where he has no friends and like the only solace he had was just in this Hierophant Green. So
I have any friends? I don't need friends. I have Hierophant Green.
not to mention I'm pretty sure Kakyoin like of all members of that group doesn't like teams up with everyone the least. I'm trying to remember if that's right or not. At least I feel like he
I will
uses
figure it out.
Hierophant Green by himself more so than any other like stand pair.
Well,
So
yeah, you're right. I think you're right about that.
yeah, so I just feel like Lonely Man is a very appropriate name for multiple reasons.
Yeah, that's good. Moving on. Tower of Grey.
Yes. Now to actually move on to the proper Tower of Grey.
Tower of Grey. I found a song. When I was doing this months ago, I was like finding songs that were just weird. I found a song. I can't remember who this is by, but it's called "Insect Warfare," and I couldn't help but name it for Tower of Grey
You
because it's a
would
little
do
fucking
that.
beetle. No, it's come on. That's an awesome name. Insect Warfare.
I mean, yeah, but
All right. What did you have?
okay, I actually went like I wasn't sure what I wanted on this one, so this is another optional. Tower of Grey I either renamed Mr. Blue Sky because it was the first stand that we fight in the sky in the air.
Yeah, in the plane.
And the other one was The Trial because apparently the stand user was a known serial killer. So
The
the
trial, like the
trial,
Pink Floyd song.
yeah, Pink Floyd's The Trial. I felt
No,
like
I can see the trial a lot very well there. That makes
I
sense.
honestly do prefer The Trial. It's just Mr. Blue Sky. I kind of like that song as well. So I just want to keep my options open,
Yeah.
really.
No, I really like the trial as the name for that. That's really good.
Yeah, especially since that one also has references to insect. Well, not insects, but bugs.
Yeah.
Worm your honor.
Yeah, you're Wham.
Yeah.
Wham your honor. I could do that
The
whole song.
crown will plainly show them.
I could just do the whole wall right now.
I would love to. I love that song. In fact, this is not even the last time we will see The Wall in my lists. Araki
uh,
may love Prince. I love Pink Floyd.
this is why we're good friends. Pink Floyd's the best. I got a couple of Pink Floyd songs on here. I just realized there are four on here that I didn't give a name to. I just couldn't think of anything good for them, I guess.
Well, looks like
They're very lame. They're very lame.
I'll be the immediate winner of those rounds because we are
Damn it.
totally leaving it up to the viewers to leave
I will.
comments of which of us won, who had the
Yes,
better
this is a
renames,
competition.
who should be hired by Viz to localize the names. That's what's on the
Yes,
line here.
yes, because most of the stands in part 6, 7, and 8 have not gotten localization. So like, here we go. It's on the line now. All right, moving on. Silver Chariot. I went with actually an album by. Is it a song or album? I cannot remember because I didn't write it down because I'm dumb. Uh, by the artist who Polnareff is named after,
Mm-hmm.
namely Polnareff. Uh, and it is, pardon my French because I'm learning French and I'm not good at it yet. Concon me uh, Revilo. Revoilow. Revilo.
Well, since I want people to be able to actually read what is happening, I went with Power of Love because that's like the theme with Polnareff. He is inspired to go on this journey in the first place because of the love he has for his sister. He kind of likes to frame himself almost like a ladies' man. He's got the earrings that come together to be a heart kind of thing. So I just felt like him being that kind of romance man would want to name his power after love.
I will only concede that to you because I'm bad at French. If I was good at French, I would say because I actually got a name after, the artist he's named after.
Mm.
I didn't try to do that often, but there was a few of these that I couldn't help myself. Namely the Oingo Boingo brothers.
I will get to them. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I have things to say.
All right. Dark Blue Moon.
Dark Blue Moon.
This was a hard one for me for a while, so I just went with Under the Sea.
Realistically, for me as well, that was also difficult. I was, for some reason, I think it's like how the wording matches up, but I obsessed over blue to the point that I actually renamed him Deep Blue something, because this is like the only stand battle that takes place in part 3. It's the only one that takes place under never mind. No, it's not actually. The Empress.
No, there's the High Priestess.
High Priestess, right? High Priestess. Well, this is the first battle, and it is an ocean-themed stand at the very least. So I feel at least confident that Deep Blue something is enough.
Yeah. I mean, and Under the Sea. If only we're in Disney copyright.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Disney copyright's the worst one.
That's true. And they own so much now, so it's like, whoo boy, we're fucked. Strength. Time for the boat.
The boat. I went with Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald because it's like one of the only songs about a freighter. Mm-hmm. And it actually, again, kind of makes sense given that the Speedwagon crew they all died during that episode. Like, that's basically the entire plot of that song is just the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald and the entire crew dies.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you're wrong because the answer is I'm on a boat.
Well, see, I'm not wrong because I'm on a boat came out in the 2000s. So
that's true, but I did
restrictions.
I did say I wasn't doing restrictions because I wanted to enjoy myself here.
Hey, I enjoy myself when I can challenge myself.
Yeah, but come on.
Because I didn't even have one rule. I had 2 rules. Is that I couldn't use stands that I know for a fact are stand names in future parts.
Well, I did that too. I have not done a single one of these that's reused. Hold on. If you're talking about Purple Rain, I said
no.
I think it might, but it's not definite.
Yeah, no. I know that, but I just wanted to clear the air on that one.
I just realized we were talking about the wall earlier. I didn't show this. I have wall stickers on the back of this book. I didn't know.
Yeah, it goes to show he's a fan.
No, I've seen the show. I've seen Roger Waters do the wall in concert.
Mm-hmm.
I had a great time. So that was Strength. Ebony Devil. I also had some problems with Ebony Devil because
I didn't.
I don't even like Ebony Devil as a stand that much. It's kind of a pain in the ass.
That sounds like a problem.
It is a me problem. But I went with naming it after a song, again, that its user is named after. Its user is Devo. I went with a Devo song called Peekaboo.
All right, so the correct answer would be Sympathy for the Devil, because it maintains...
That's too easy.
It maintains the well, not only that, but like his power comes after his user is injured, so it makes sense. It's not just that they're both named Devil, it's that sympathy for the devil kind of implies his power.
All right. I was thinking about that one, and then I shied away from it because I thought it was too easy.
You coward.
Coward? I went with I'm on a boat for strength. You kidding me? All right. Yellow Temperance. You can start with this one.
Yellow Temperance. I went with "I Want to Break Free"
That's a good
by
pick.
Freddie Mercury. You want to know why?
But, yeah.
You want to know why? Simply because the first time you ever see Yellow Temperance like peel off the Kakyoin
Yeah.
disguise, and he's like, "Look at me with radiance," and I'm just like, "This is." It
No,
just kind of it made sense that like he disguises himself as so many people.
that's good. I also focused on the disguise part of Yellow Temperance's power. So Yellow Temperance's stand user is Rubber Soul.
Mm-hmm.
So I went with I wanted to pick a song off of the album Rubber Soul, but I found one that I think really fits it. The song "You Won't See Me," because he disguises himself as other people. So I mean, there's multiple times where JoJo is completely tricked. He doesn't see him. He's
Yeah.
Kakyoin. He's that woman on the tram doesn't see him. So I think that's a good pick.
Okay. The next one's Hanged Man, right?
Hanged Man should be next. Yes.
Okay. I went with Man in the Mirror because it.
That is already a stand.
What do you mean?
Part 5 stand, Man in the Mirror. Got him. Ha
Okay. Well, I didn't know that because I didn't get to that part when I was writing this list, and I'm still not even at that part because that episode hasn't aired yet in the dub.
it's actually that's actually like the next stand fight we're gonna get with Man in the Mirror. It's like in a couple of weeks. I'm just saying.
I'm angry.
It's so close too. Um, it's okay. You can keep Man in the Mirror because I decided to just straight up call him R. Kelly.
Why?
Because Jay Giles a pedophile.
Okay, we're just gonna move on now because I feel like this entire
Yeah, fair.
part is just a train wreck at this point.
Oh boy.
So, Whole Horse is Emperor.
Emperor, yes, Emperor.
Uh, why? Why? Okay.
It's
No,
fun. It's fun.
I went with Big Iron.
Yeah, Big Iron. That's a good pick. I decided to just go with Guns and Roses because that's the two things that the whole horse is all about: guns and throwing roses to women.
Love,
Love.
love, romance.
Yes.
He's got
He's
a lover on every
romantic.
continent. I think he said.
He does say that he's got a lover on every continent. All right, Empress.
Empress. I went with Love
What about
Parasite
Love Parasite? That
because there's that connection to Emperor with the whole love thing, but also the whole parasite part because that's
yeah,
literally what she
yeah,
is.
she's literally a parasite. Um, I went with Fat Bottom Girl, like the Queen song.
Why? Why?
Because she's fat. What do you want from me here? I'm not a complicated man.
Clearly not.
I'm a name Hangman R. Kelly, and I'm a name Empress Fat Bottom Girl. I don't deserve to win.
Okay. Moving along, Wheel of Fortune. I really wanted to name Wheel of Fortune the Runaround, but then I found out that no, that was a late 90s song.
Oh,
So, yeah, so instead I went with Take Me Home Country Road. Just because
okay. Yeah, I
I'm
get it.
not the kind of guy I don't really know all that many car songs.
Yeah, me.
So, uh,
So when I often when I got stuck, I looked to the stand user's name, and the stand user of Wheel of Fortune is ZZ, named after ZZ Top. So a ZZ Top song that I found is called "Waiting for the Bus," which I thought was funny because it's a car and it gets
car.
completely destroyed by the end. So you're waiting for the bus.
Yeah.
Also, they steal the car.
Yeah, they do actually do that.
Steal the car. So that
Because
guy
their
is
car also got totaled.
yeah, he's gonna need some other form of transportation, preferably a bus.
If he ever gets undone from that rock they chained him to.
Yeah, probably not. he's one of the few part 3 villains that's like, yeah, he probably died out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no remorse for him. All right, moving on to Justice.
Justice and
Oh,
Yaba.
Yaba's stand Justice.
I went with City of the Dead.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
I think I have a good name too. I went with Master of Puppets.
No, that is actually a really good. This is the only one I think is really a contentious choice
Yeah,
because
this is a difficult choice.
that's actually going to be a good one. I'm going to be interested to see some of the comments for which one, City of the Dead or Master of Puppets.
So, Lovers is the next one.
Lovers. Here's the thing about Lovers. It's a bug. It's like a really small thing.
Yeah.
I admittedly could not think of much, so I literally just looked for the song most similar to its canon name, and went with Modern Love.
Okay. I went in a bit of a different direction. I think that Lovers is a very annoying stand, and I think Steely Dan is a very annoying character that I like to see get punched in the face. So I called it One Direction.
That is such an old meme, dude.
Yeah, I know, right? They broke up years ago, and I was still making jokes about them.
Anyway,
moving on.
Okay, the next one was Sun.
Yeah, the sun. It's a sun.
Yeah, I named it Sunspot Baby literally because I could not think of anything else because it's such a boring stand.
It really is. But I actually had a good name for it. A Pink Floyd song called "Fat Old Sun."
Ooh, that's actually is really good.
Works pretty good. Fat Old Sun. So next is Death 13, which is the one that I'm the most proud of.
Okay, let's hear
No, I want
yours.
to hear yours first because I want.
Okay, mine is like a multi-layered thing.
Oh,
So, Death 13, I named Go Go, which is the first part of the song "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go," because it's a reference to it's a dream stand, and also Go Go kind of can be spelled like Goo Goo, a reference to the fact that its user is a baby.
Yes.
So,
All right.
that was my thing.
So I named Death 13 Fresh Prince.
Okay.
Now I need you to follow me on this one.
Okay, I'm following you.
Death 13 is based off Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Uh-huh.
When Nightmare 4 was about to come out, Will Smith, as his persona, the Fresh Prince, did a song about Nightmare on Elm Street called A Nightmare on My Street, where he sings about getting attacked by Freddy Krueger.
Uh-huh.
Which landed him a lawsuit from the owners of Nightmare on Elm Street New Line Cinemas. So in Will Smith's honor, I would like to name the ripoff of Freddy Krueger after him, Fresh Prince.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm very happy with that one. So, moving on to Judgment.
Judgment, Mr. Wish Granter.
Judgment was pretty easy, because I called him "Friend Like Me," the song from Aladdin, obviously. Which again, I know Disney copyright and shit, but like,
Yeah,
it's a genie. He makes your wishes come true. It makes sense.
I went with Rick Springfield because Rick Springfield is the artist who made the song "Jesse's Girl." It's a song that's basically entirely about wanting something you can't have,
Okay.
and more specifically for what we see on the show, it's about Polnareff getting his sister back, the girl who left him. So,
and she had to be naked while Avdol didn't, because
fan service.
Necrophilic fan service though.
Yes.
All right, fine. Moving on, High Priestess. Again, I thought this was pretty easy. I went with Iron Maiden. See.
Yes. Explain yourself.
It makes sense. She's priestess, maiden, goes hand in hand. She can manipulate minerals. Iron is a mineral. Iron Maiden. I thought that was kind of self.
Okay, I went with Twisted Sister because she looks like a member of that band.
Yeah, you're right.
And also because a lot of her like morphing into the walls and others, she does a bit of a twisting move, so that kind of made me reminisce about them.
Nice. So next up is the Fool.
Iggy.
Jeez. So I I just called him Darude.
Why?
Sandstorm.
I went
It's not funny. It's just stupid.
I went with Search and Destroy literally because I couldn't think of anything to do with like sand for his stand name, and I kind of more fixated on the fact he looks like a car.
He does have wheels.
Yeah,
It still wasn't explained.
yeah, and because I still felt like Iggy's or like his power should have been like tracking, so I went with Search and Destroy.
All right. Uh, Geb, the
Now on
water
to the
stand.
Egyptians.
The water stand, named after the god of the earth.
Yes.
Sensible. I called him REM because REM in real life stands for rapid eye movement, which is not something that Endul can really do because he's blind.
Way to be
That's very
ironic.
ableist of me.
Ironic. I don't know.
No, it's just mean, is what it is.
Okay, so mine was I went with Toto because this is the first stand they run into on the African mainlands, and also because rain down in Africa, it's a water stand.
Yeah, that makes sense. So going on to the Oingo Boingo brothers, starting with Oingo himself, which is Knum. I believe that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. Knum.
I thought it was Kununu.
No, it's Knum.
Okay.
And KHNUM. Knum. Knum.
Okay.
So the Oingo Boingo brothers. So I called it Weird Science.
Wait, both the stands together?
No, just Knum. Knum is Weird Science. I have another name for Toph.
Okay. Mine for Knum was Who, just because again a disguising stand and went with Who are
Who are
you?
you?
Who? Yeah.
The
Because literally both Knum and Oingo have no personality whatsoever.
Nope. Knum can't get a personality because it's just putty on your
Yeah.
face. What do? Uh, Toph, I went with a different Oingo Boingo song. I called it my favorite Oingo Boingo song, by the way. Dead Man's Party,
Mm-hmm.
because it can predict the future. You can see people dying, and also I like Boingo and Toph infinitely more than I like Oingo and Knum. So I went with the better song.
Yeah. That's a thing we disagree on because I strongly dislike the Oingo Boingo brothers. So
I
originally,
said better. I didn't say it made them good.
since Toth was a book, I
Yeah,
thought it would be great if I could name him I Write Sins, Not Tragedies.
that was
Because,
funny.
yeah, that gets to his point. But see, Boingo being such a worthless piece of shit,
Doesn't deserve
has.
to be
No,
panic.
no, no. It's that he was made before that song was made. So retroactively, I dislike him even more for ruining a perfect, like a match made in heaven with his stand in his name. So to punish him retroactively, I renamed his stand "Never Gonna Give You Up"
Wow.
because
That's pretty cruel,
when
man.
I see and hear Boingo, I feel an intense primal rage, unlike anything I've ever experienced except being rickrolled.
Nice. I gotta say, I'm surprised neither of us came up with Talking Book.
He doesn't deserve a name like that.
Fair enough. So next up is Anubis. Uh, which I just, I mean, I'm coming with this on the spot because I didn't come up with one for this earlier. Uh, Fuck it. I'm calling Anubis Who Let the Dogs Out because he's a doggy boy
Of course you would.
inside a sword.
And I named him Black Dog.
That makes
for
more
similar
sense.
reasons. He's a
Yeah.
dog,
It's doggy
but
boy.
more specifically, he's a black one.
Yeah. Well, I also like. 'Cause I'm a defend who let the dogs out just real quick. Because I mean the whole point of Anubis is whoever unsheaths the sword. So who the fuck let this dog out? Let it out. It'll kill everyone.
Here's a
Unless it's
question.
out.
Here's a question. When the 9 Egyptian stand users were introduced, like in the dark of night, where they were all wearing hoods or whatever,
Yeah.
there were 9 of them, right?
Yeah. So who was
So
carrying Anubis?
no. How is Anubis and Pet Shop, for that matter, humanoid enough?
I don't. Wait. So I don't know about Pet Shop. Pet Shop is definitely like no idea. I just assumed someone was just carrying Anubis, and then Anubis was like, "Nah, I don't like you anymore," and dumped him.
Could someone like draw how Anubis or Pet Shop could be wearing a hood with the rest of the group?
Yeah, someone explain Pet Shop to me. Where is Pet Shop in that shot?
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's gonna point it out like real quick. All right, Bastet.
Bashtet?
Bastet or Bass. It doesn't actually know because Mariah is a woman. We have to go with the female version, which is Bastet.
Mm.
Egyptian gods are confusing.
I went with Iron Man because of the references to metal.
Cool. I called it Electric Avenue
Where is electricity in this?
because you're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue. Also, magnetism, dude. Electricity and magnetism, they go hand in hand. Also, it's an electrical outlet, and it's on a rock. Gonna rock down to Electric Avenue.
Okay.
Makes sense to me.
You're proud of that one, aren't you?
I'm actually very happy with that one.
All right, Sethin is next.
Sethin, easy off the top of my head, pumped up kicks. This kid's better run, better run.
Yeah, similarly, I went with Forever Young because of the power to reverse age people.
It's logical.
Yeah.
But I do like the implications of pumped up kicks because Sethin wants to kill the children.
Mm-hmm.
And the fetus.
Can I just say right here, right now, Polnareff and Fetus Levy have more chemistry than any other couple in this show I have seen.
Yes. That is accurate. Osiris. I think we came up with the exact same one for Osiris, didn't we?
Yeah, we both came up with the Gambler.
Yes, the gambler.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, yeah, it just is.
You don't need to like say anything else, really.
Yeah. It's the Gambler by Kenny Rogers. Like, yeah. Horace. Get back to me on this one.
Do you want me to give mine instead?
Yeah, go ahead.
I will admit that Horus is a very difficult stand to come up with a name for. So I ended up going with Modern English because they are the band that made the song "I Melt with You." They like I would have used "I Melt with You" as the actual stand name, but they didn't come up with it in time for like the time frame I allowed. So I just went with the band themselves. Horus is horribly like confusing or horribly difficult to name.
I'm gonna go with, and I will freely admit that I lose on this one. I'm gonna go with My Dinosaur Life because it looks like a pterodactyl.
Okay.
There you go. Simple. I'm a simple man. I like dinosaurs. Atum, also difficult because it's very similar to Osiris. I mean, it basically is Osiris, but
well, I mean, I
slight
changed
upgrade.
it up. I went with Suspicious Minds because of his power to, you know, like literally look into people's souls to get answers out of them.
Okay. So for Atum, for me, again, this is off the top of my head. Fuck it, I'm gonna call him heathens because he's a gamer, and gamers are heathens.
Gamers rise up.
I am a gamer, so I'm not. I'm calling myself a heathen.
I
Should I
know
go,
that
should I go with something better than that? Like, fuck, man.
we had said like that Vanilla Ice and tenor sax were kind of off limits because they were already basically
Yeah,
named after.
they already
Uh,
followed the trend.
that being said, I did rename tenor sax Sound of Silence
It's fitting. It is.
because it's the scene where Avdol dies for good, and that made me sad.
No, they beat tenor sax before Abdul dies.
Well, it was yeah, like they beat him, and then immediately they're introduced to Cream,
Yeah, who
who
kills him?
does that.
Yeah.
And I know
The
we said we were
yeah.
going to go into we were going to go in like order of appearance, but I kind of realized a bit too late that Holly's stand does not
Oh yeah, Holly
canonically
doesn't
have.
have a name.
I gave her the name Comfortably Numb, just because
That's
the
good.
entire point of her stand is literally just she's dying. It's killing her.
That's good. I going off the wall thing. I actually want to name it "Goodbye Blue Sky" because
Mm.
that's also a song about dying. Well, actually, no. "Company Dilemma" is not a song about dying. It's a
I
song
mean,
about
it's
getting
about
addicted to
innocence
drugs.
dying, and Holly's probably one of the more innocent characters on JoJo.
That's true. She does get called a bitch to her face, and she sort of shakes it off by her own son.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to finally the world.
Okay. So what I came up for the world, because we all know Dio is not half the villain he is without shouting Zawaldo.
Yes.
So for his stand is everybody wants to rule, just so that he can continue. He has an excuse to continually scream the world for short, and also because it kind of
Yes.
it's his plan. He wants to rule the world.
That is that's very good. I really like that one. So I mentioned this all the way at the beginning when I was talking about my answer for Star Platinum. There's another song that really, and I believe, influenced the design of the world, because you look at the world, and for some reason he's got scuba gear on.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some tanks on his back. So there's a Dio song called "Holy Diver," and I like to call the world "Holy Diver."
Mm.
It's very fitting.
Very
All right.
fitting because he doesn't swim at all.
He swims through the air.
Sure. It's what's called flying.
I'm. Mm, none of them can fly though.
But Jotaro and Dio do.
Nah, they literally. It's just very poorly explained. They actually hit the ground so hard with their stands that it launches them up. That's
That's so
literally they're
stupid.
jumping. They're
That's so
jumping. They're pogo
stupid.
sticking is what they're doing. They're not flying at
That's
all.
so
They just
stupid.
when time stops for some reason they just stay in the air for very long periods of time.
Uh,
All right.
so I think that's everything.
That's everything I wanted to discuss and talk about for this first one. Uh, but yeah, so until we do this again
This has been JohnJohn with JoJo.
with JoJo, JohnJohn talking JoJo. I'm just gonna cut it.